Hey everybody, this is Cody here with Chino, Liz, and Nick, and we're going to present our CS364 Software Engineering 1 CRC card presentation. So to start out, what are CRC cards and how do we use them? The CRC in CRC cards stands for Use Class, Responsibilities, and Collaboration. Traditionally, CRC cards are handwritten on index cards, but there are also software and web-based programs that create a similar experience. Regardless of the method, the objective is the same. An individual card is used to represent an object. On the top of the card, the name of the object is listed. On the left-hand side of the card, a list of the object's responsibilities are written, and on the right-hand side of the card is a list of the collaboration components for the given object. CRC cards are primarily used as a way to brainstorm how to best organize and divide different program components and establish a relationship between these objects. It's also an effective way to mentally map out the program and test alternate methods before writing the code for each section. CRC cards can also be useful when restructuring a program, and they easily flow into UML diagrams and other design methods used to lay out the foundation work for a project. Through the course of this presentation, we're going to discuss some of the pros and cons of CRC cards, as well as our team's recommendation of the best circumstances for using them. Lastly, we'll briefly discuss how CRC cards could be used in the Eagle Scout Merit Badge tracking application.
Some of the pros of CRC cards are that they're really a good stepping stone for the early stages of development. They're easy to create and they're very portable. They provide a strong basis for the future steps, such as class diagrams. They can be easily rearranged and changed when exploration discovers additional attributes and responsibilities. They're not difficult to change. Heuristics that guide the design, class name, responsibilities, and collaborators. They're highly iterative. You can change them. They change as the team members discover more and new things that need to be done with each individual class. An important part of CRC cards is the ability to role play on the class. So the team members become more engaged with the design, and they often discover more objects and attributes and relationships and operations as they do this. So each team member pretends that they are an instance of the role, they're role playing, and they walk through the steps. This is where questions may come up and missing components are discovered. If you think about what classes there could possibly be and don't want to worry about relationships, methods, and attributes yet, CRC cards offer a less final method that leaves you freedom for designing details later. The cons of CRC cards are that they do lack detail and precision. You're limited. You should also consider use cases, prototypes, and formal requirements documents. Furthermore, in most organizations, it isn't acceptable to simply submit a collection of index cards as your analysis deliverable. But they are a good beginning stage. It's hard to get users together and developers to do that role playing that we discussed. There's no sequence when each use card is kind of individual. There is no sequence tying it to the next thing, and that's a con to this. And there's no procedural information like what sequence of events to take place. Too many cards, it's just inefficient. If there were a large system, there would be way too many cards to manage.
Our team recommendation, the CRC cards technique is a simple low-risk approach to object-oriented development. By using this method, keep the art of funding classes, responsibilities method, and collaboration very simple. The recommended group size is between 4 to 6 people. Each of these small groups can allow a free flow of idea through brainstorming and collaboration in a non-threatening informal environment. The participant can physically pick up a card and play the role of the object contained on the card. This method will extremely be effective when it's beneficial to experience firsthand and how system will work. And using this method, keep the art of identifying classes. For example, for this class of the CRC card, which is a scout class, our team is to break the use case into scenarios with a focus only in one scenario at a time. As reading through each line of the scenario, the team identifies the responsibilities, things like the class can do with the knowledge it has. So some other questions that we can ask is, ask what the class knows, how the class does, ask what information must be stored about the class to make it unique, finding other classes, and how each classes interact with others. In this process, superclasses and subclasses can also be identified at the time when they become obvious.
This is Nick Hebert with a little explanation on how the CRC card pattern will help us in our Eagle Scout project application. So the CRC card pattern will be a very good design approach for delineating the different classes that will be in our Eagle Scout Progress application and their respective responsibilities. Now, it's important to understand that the traditional pattern for working with the CRC cards begins in a collaborative manner. We will work together to brainstorm all the different types of classes that could be a part of the ESPA. Not every class suggested will be implemented, but it is important to get as many perspectives as possible. Our class members each have different logical perspectives, of course. So through those varying perspectives, we will find new class interaction patterns, and we will find common patterns through the combined perspective of each class member. It will make sense for as many differing opinions to surface during the CRC class creation process. Extreme Programming, thought leaders of CRC cards, and avid implementers of Agile process describes the process like this. The more people who can help design the system, the greater the number of good ideas incorporated. So we can expect our group to meet together and formulate ideas of all the different classes that we could have. Someone might suggest separate classes for Scout, Leader, and Parent. Someone might suggest a person class with inheriting subclasses. We may notice a pattern that everyone thinks a requirement class is important. Someone might notice that we should move a set of connected functions and data, such as emailing and texting reminders, into a communicator class. In all the different opinions that people bring to the table will help us create the best solution. This approach will be very beneficial to our team, as we will be able to compose a system with the most opinions possible, and we will be able to clearly see the patterns through the layout of the cards itself, and how each system interacts, each class interacts with each other. CRC cards will help us paint the picture of how to best organize our Eagle Scout Progress application class structure.
That's an overview of how CRC cards could be used in our project today. Thank you for your time.